Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. Now, I know I've asked this before, and that's who's got the authority over you? Over you as a strong individual American. And the reason it's important to ask again is because it's always good to stop every once in a while and reevaluate the situation. We grow, we mature, we're faced with difficulties, and we have to figure out how we're going to handle these difficulties. And how we handle them dictates how much of a strong individual you are. If you are. That's the one thing that I've kind of figured out through this virus thing. I've I personally who's got authority over me? It hasn't changed at all. Like I say, I deal with the public. I deal with people. I help people improve their lives through personal safety and health. And I consult is what I do. And I do this throughout the world. I travel all around when I do this. But the one thing that I've learned through all this that's going on, it's surprised me how easily people are swayed to do things as a group. Because like I say, I deal with individuals. Now, I mentioned that you have to prepare. And what do you prepare for? All kinds of stuff. I mean, there's just no limit. And this is what I do when I do three-man militia. We sit around and we talk about all the kind of stuff that we need to prepare for. Then we talk about how do you prepare for these things. And I know, and a lot of this stuff that I talk about, I know a lot of people can't fully relate to it, and I understand that. And I've mentioned that society, we're going to have a problem with society. And I've given you examples such as, ratting on each other. They want you to rat on each other. You'll be shunned. You're going to be made fun of. And a lot of ridicule. And you notice, if you've ever read any of the comments, I don't mind it when somebody disagrees with me. That's how I learn, and that's what opens me up. Start thinking about other things because they're looking at it a different way. So I got to think about things like that. This is where the learning, reading, writing, and arithmetic kind of stuff comes from. When you do this, then you learn how to learn. And because I say on the comments, every once in a while you'll see somebody say, well, you're not wearing a seatbelt. So I can say a lot of things about other people. You know, why are you fat? I mean, why can't you walk? Why can't you, I can say all kinds of stuff also, but that's not, for one thing, that's impolite. And, but the seatbelt thing is, yes, it's the law, but now you're putting social pressure on me, you know, and I don't take well for any kind of pressure. And that's why I do the stuff that I do. And that I teach others how to avoid a lot of these problems also. Now we're going to come up with, and I think this is going to be a good one. And this is when this is all over. It's going to now see for me. You wear a mask, you wear gloves. I don't care what you do. You probably have a reason for it. One reason could be you're taking personal responsibility over your health. You don't want the germs from all these other people. Another reason could be you are germy. You know you're sick and you're trying to keep it from spreading to other people. That's good also. And but it also could be, well, it's the law. We were told we have to do this. So that is not a sign of a strong individual or taking personal responsibility. My dog does what she does when it starts off with, it's discipline. I'm teaching her these are the rules, the law. That's what I'm teaching her. Once she understands this, then she will do what she has to do. Now, why is she doing that? Okay, she's doing it for protection. Not only my protection, but for her protection. When I call her, I want her to come. I don't want her to go out in the street and get hit by a car. So in other words, there's a reason why, and I'm making her take personal responsibility. But you have to figure out where that line goes for you. How much of this is social pressure? Social pressure is why people live in the city. I'm still amazed how people can live in the city with all the bad things that can happen. So you have the problem about living in the city. You pay somebody to do everything that you're supposed to do, so you don't have to take personal responsibility. You're paying somebody to do this. I bet you got somebody come by and pick up your trash. You pay to get water. So in other words, everything that you do in the city, you're paying somebody else to take that responsibility, so you don't have to. But you're in an environment there that you can't have a water well in the city. Unless you're pretty smart on how to do it. But when you're in that type of environment, you have to learn the rules. And then you learn the rules, and then you make a choice. Are these rules that I can live by? And that's why you make that decision. That's why people live out in the country. They don't want to be micromanaged. They don't mind that effort that it takes to feed themselves, gives themselves shelter and water, and to prosper. That's where self-employed people, and I've been self-employed all my life. So I don't look for a job. I don't look for somebody that's going to give me a job and take that job away from me. And it's not that easy. We got to learn the rules when we're doing self-employment, because the government wants to tell you what to do. And as a city folk, you want them to tell you what to do. That's how you live as a society in the city. You don't need morals. You don't need manners. The city will give you those if they think you need that. And that's what they're doing now with the masks and stuff. And so, in other words, I probably won't be able to go see you if you think you're going to make me wear a mask. And, but I say, you're okay with that. Well, I know you're okay with a lot of things. You know what I mean? So these are things you need to stop and evaluate and see how much of this stuff are you supposed to be okay with? And how much of this stuff are you supposed to take personal responsibility? And what is it that you teach your kids? That's why I say that's one of the big things that I had a problem with when my kids went to college. And then they were telling me, man, we have to learn stuff that's incorrect. So, well, that's what you got to do if you want that diploma. When I went to college, I was 40 years old. I didn't want a diploma. I don't need it. I went to get smart. And when I found out, they don't know nothing about getting smart. So that's why my time in college wasn't all that lengthy. That and I pay for it for myself. If I'm going to pay for it, I expect to get something out of it. But anyway, I'm saying all this because there's going to be a time, we're going through a crisis now. There's going to be a time we're going to come out of it. How are you going to come out of it? Are you going to be an obedient dog like Rex? Or are you going to be stronger? That's what you need to think about. How can I get stronger? Preparing, making good decisions, not doing as you're told. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.